Welcome back, folks, to the Stockwell Eldridge Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
And I'm Dawn Eldridge with RE/MAX Results.
Good morning. Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage.
And we have Sam and James here with Kinetic Design. We also have a guest in studio who's observing. If you want to check us out
The Mystery Man in Red.
The Mystery Man in Red, Tim Buck with Wells Fargo. You can watch us on YouTube and check out Tim, Compliance Director. No, I'm just kidding. Tim's here to observe and check things out.
Well, and I would like to say I've worked with Tim on a transaction. He was fabulous to work with. Awesome, very detailed, super attentive.
Yep.
Kept me informed the whole way, which I have to say not a lot of lenders do that. So I really appreciated working with him.
Because he has a good manager keeping him in line.
That's right.
Tim is really, really good to work with. So
yes.
if you need a pre-approval or refinance, or if you need money for a remodel. So here's what it is, folks. Everybody's so busy right now, and I know you are. You're extremely busy. Your kids are busy. Your friends are busy. Your coworkers are busy.
Month.
And it's summertime, and here's the good news for you. The market is there. The market is up in real estate, and the capital and the money is there available to you. So if you've been putting off that project or those projects for years, 1, 2, 5, 10 years or a decade on something you really want to do in your house or remodel it or bring it up to today's standards or even into the future standards and do that addition or do those things that you want, now is the time to do that. If the biggest shortage we have right now is good contractors. Not that we don't have a bunch of them, but that can actually do a job and have the time to do the job and scheduling it and things like that. So time is the thing we're looking at. We have tons of money available. We have the market available that will justify you able to do the job. We just need the people and the contractors to be able to do it. So we're fortunate enough that Dawn, myself, Stephanie, we will always take your calls and request if you need a tree service person, a contractor, drain cleaner,
roofing, siding, windows.
Anything you need, we have really good people because we know some good ones and we know some bad ones, and we just will guide you in the direction of what you can.
And if you're not nice to us, we'll give you the bad ones.
So Jason,
I'm just kidding.
Jason, I want to go back to your point because I think it's something a lot of people ask. I know sometimes we even get that with our pre-approved our customers who are going through a refinance or looking to purchase. So you had talked about doing a countertop with a cabinet. So maybe if you guys can comment, or maybe even jams.
Jams.
That could be a new one.
Yeah,
I don't know if we had
that
one yet.
Every
Every day there's some
I like it.
Jams and Sams.
Yeah.
Okay,
I assume that's one of
you're pulling up people.
Brangelina or whatever, right?
Right. That's what it's
Yeah.
like, jams. Okay, anyways.
Jams.
So, some comments. So, okay, let's get back to my question.
Don't let Marty and Eric hear this.
What should I do? Like, if I... because we hear it all the time, these people when they refinance, well, what do you think your house is worth? Well, I spent $20,000 on cabinets and countertops, $10,000 on carpeting and windows and this and that. So my house is worth $30,000 more than last year because I paid for $30,000 in improvements. Is that always the case, or is there certain improvements that a homeowner could make that Jams and Sams could do that would add to the value when listing, or some things that they should consider if they're going to list, but they know they need some updating?
Always consult before you act. I can't tell you how many sellers will do this because they'll see it on TV. They'll watch HGTV or something like that. Yeah. And then they'll do one piece of the puzzle, right?
Yep.
So you get this one piece that's like, wow, that looks great. But I'm actually not looking at that one thing. Our eyes as human.
When you say like that one thing, are you talking like they just do the bathroom, or
they'll just do? They'll take one item and they'll
just do the countertop.
No consistency with the rest of the house, right? It'll be like, or they'll do this one room and it'll just be that room doesn't go with anything
else in the house, right?
Yeah,
we field that question all the time from our clients.
Just the other day, we went to a client, or a potential new client, actually, and that would be a great example for this.
Yeah.
The one right over there in
Edina.
Yep. In Edina.
I mean, I think we've talked about this on the show before.
What was it?
We'll exclude the name.
Say or sell.
Yeah. I think that in a lot of cases, if you've got a reputable contractor, you can get good advice from them. But it's in their best interest to sell you the work. So sometimes they're giving people the wrong advice and saying, yeah, we'll fix this, and this, and it's not going to increase the value of your house. So I think it helps to have realtors and contractors work together, because I think we both can say what's best for the future value of that house. And then you have to take into into the calculation. Are they going to stay there or are they going to move?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
these are all big factors
And
in
so-
whether you do work or don't do work.
So
And-
on that point, when you're saying should they stay or sell, if you're saying sell, do you do a lesser quality job or do you just do
No.
lesser amount of improvements?
we
I think that
can't, and we
I'm kind of
don't.
asking that facetiously because
Yeah.
I know the question, but some people might be thinking that like, well, what do they mean if I'm going to sell it? Are they going to do lesser quality work because they don't care because we're not going to live here?
You just
More
may
like
not
a
need
flip
to do
type
as
of
much.
mentality, sort of. Is
Yeah,
maybe
It's
what
the
you're
scope
saying,
of
like
work
you
and
just-
the thing, the amount of work you're doing probably is what it would be if you're going to do the whole house or not. And that's what I always tell sellers too. Is they always say, "Well, I want to do this. This is on my list to do before I sell it."
Right.
And I said, "Okay, as soon as you start that project, that could be a very basic project, say $8,000 or $10,000 of something, one aspect." I said, "You're going to get that done, and now that's going to gleam and look perfect, and that's going to really show the flaws in the wall or in the paint or in the cabinets or the flaws in the trim. And now you got to take that up because that's really perfect, and then the rest of it's not going to be congruent or go with it. So then now you got
Right.
to add on, and then you're going to
It's a
snowball
little
this
bit
project."
of a domino effect.
Yeah.
I think
sometimes.
And you go, and I always tell people, go all in and do it.
Yep.
If you're going to do it all in, or do as
Nothing.
little as possible or nothing sometimes,
Yeah.
because then it just depends. But
It does depend.
Yeah.
Well, and I think
That goes-
that's
yeah.
what happened in Edina. That's exactly what I told this couple. They've got a very nice house. They're in and amongst homes that they can support the value of the work, but they either need to do very little or nothing to it, or just redo the
Everything.
entire thing, and it'll be awesome.
Yep.
But
And unless your home is really, really dated, or it's in an area where it's really appreciated a lot, or you're doing a major addition, or taking a wall out and doing some opening up and things like that, what I see is you're usually getting dollar for dollar in the real time return. So if you're going to go and say, I'm going to sell this in 3 months, 6 months. Okay, then you're going to spend all that money, and after the time, energy, effort that went into it, you're probably not going to get a huge reward unless your home is really, really bad, or you're doing some major structural opening to it,
So
where
how
you're
do you-
opening a kitchen, you're doing something that would really, where you have that bump. What I mean by bump is
Right.
you have that,
Right.
where you
Yep.
have that.
Or mechanics too.
So-
I think
Yeah.
mechanics are important. if
doesn't
they're
that
really old.
sometimes depend on the person buying the house too? Because I like some people would like to buy a house that every decision has been made for them.
Oh,
The
most
house is
people.
gorgeous.
Most people
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah, and
most
I
of
would
the time.
rather buy a house. So if I'm looking to buy a house, I would want the exiting owner to not have done anything if they weren't going to do it all perfectly.
Yes.
You
Yes,
know?
and that's
Like,
the
Same
way
with
I
me.
buy
screw it
too.
up for me. Let me get
Well-
it fixed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. Or how do you know that your house is outdated or not in style? Because I think you guys have probably talked about it too, and I'm sure even in your experience with remodeling, people are really sentimental about things in their house or the way
Very
it's
much so.
decorated, and it's like,
Especially
how
if
do
they
you
were
know?
raised
Like
there.
I might think like, hey, I
Absolutely.
think my house looks great. Who wouldn't
Yeah.
want to live here? And somebody else might walk in and be like, oh no, that's got to go, or that's
And,
Yeah.
and there's no right or wrong to that
Yeah.
either. I mean, people, it's nice. It's your home. You're attached to it. That's where you live. That's where you raise your kids, and that's great. All of it's great.
So are you able to kind of see? So I think on both aspects of it. So
Yeah.
from your design perspective, are you able? My sparkly taste. I don't know,
Yeah.
Jams. If we have the same, taste,
I
I
bet
like.
I think we can work together
You know,
just
I
fine.
like glitter and
So-
sparkles and all that
Right.
kind of stuff, but can you design to
too
a house?
sometimes.
Do you? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
so
well,
can
I think
you
that's
design
part
to
of
my
it.
style?
I think that's what Sam was saying too. Like, we want to help people. I mean, that's kind of what we're here for, you know, and that's my job as a designer is to get to know the person and get to know the family and work with what you like so that you love your house, you know, and when it's all said and done, it's beautiful. It's hopefully if we do our job well, then it becomes also a little timeless, it ages well,
That's
and
the key,
that's
too.
with,
Yeah.
sort of
So I have a
smart and thoughtful designs.
Question about that. Barn doors, are those timeless or are they going out already?
Wow.
The sliding
well,
I'm just asking because it's been around for a while now and I'm seeing it and I'm like, well, now it doesn't have the same appeal to me when I see it.
Right.
Like I did before. Like I'm like,
well, I would
nicely done barn
imagine
doors.
most of the folks you guys are working with, I mean, do they say we want a barn door?
No.
Are they still saying it? No.
No.
I'm not hearing it as
And
much.
I used to see it when I first started in real estate in 2004. It was the big thing on the condo conversions. They would put the barn door on there, and I did it at my duplex. I have a little sliding door. And
Oh, you do? Nice.
yeah, I do.
Yep.
But
So that was back
now
then,
we're
and
seeing
then now
it
it's
again.
yeah. But
Well,
we've seen it for a while, and I
you
don't
know,
know if it's past its phase or not. You know what I
Shiplap.
mean?
Barn doors.
The reclaimed wood.
Reclaimed wood. all
Well,
of these things come
we
and
like
go, but
those
they can be
things.
done really well
Yeah.
too.
Those,
And
those
then they
can
can
be
be
done in
timeless.
time. Yeah, those can be
Yes.
done where it could be a long time. I think if you do
I
it
think
right. Yeah.
any single element, if it's done tastefully and the house is really nicely done, can be timeless. It's when you have a
Well,
you know,
it's a
like a
trickle-down
1987 split level, and all of a sudden you're putting a barn door in it, and everyone's like, well,
What's-
Yeah.
where's this
why is
fit
that?
in here?
Right.
Yeah.
What's this
Well,
barn
that
door
would
all
almost be
about?
my question to Jason and Dawn is how do you, like you said, maybe somebody just loves that barn door in their 1987 split ramp.
And if they're living there,
and-
it's theirs.
Right, but
Yeah.
how do you, as listing agents, you're going to a listing appointment, how do you, what do you, what would a person, if I'm going to list my house, how would I know what I should do and what I shouldn't do? Or
Have us
because I
over,
love the barn
and
door.
We'll talk to
What do you mean everybody doesn't love my barn door? I
Right.
mean, so is that something, like I said, is that a complimentary thing that you guys would do if I'm thinking about selling my home? Would you come in
yeah.
and tell me what you think I should or should not do? Or
Yes.
Dawn's
right.
good at that, and I'm fairly good at that. I don't claim to be.
Is
a-
that
And we're good at it.
design.
So
you
yeah,
guys are
you
great
know,
at it.
Absolutely.
Well, but it helps to mix everybody too.
It does.
Yes, the more eyes, the better, because you actually brainstorm more. Usually, you get more brains in the room. You have more information.
Sometimes.
that may have been
I
a
like
leap
those
there.
brains. 3 guys' brain to 1 woman's brain.
Yeah, I
so.
don't know.
Good. All right. Well, good
right.
information.
We'll
We'll
be
be back
back.
in the next segment.